survive or not, but I think that they may not be the bottom place team at the end of the season. They may not.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So those are some of the games from last night in terms of the Premier League. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. No goals were scored. The Everton got their first win of 2026. They beat Burnley by 2-0 in that encounter at the Hill Dickinson. James Tarkowski and Keenan Dewsbury Hall getting the goals for Everton in that particular game. And then it's Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. So Leeds losing back-to-back games. They lost 1-0 to Man City over the weekend. Yeah. And now they got done last night by Sunderland. And then it was Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. If you have a look at the games that will be played tonight, you have spicier games. Aston Villa versus Chelsea. That's an interesting one.
That's a big one.
Villa versus Chelsea. That's at 7:30 p.m. Brighton versus Arsenal. That's an interesting one as well. Arsenal have won this game. I think in the last 2 to 3 years they've picked up wins here. Fulham and West Ham is a London derby. East London versus West London. And then Manchester City taking on Nottingham Forest.
This is Sporty FM.
Okay. And then the 8:15 kickoff is between Newcastle United and Manchester United at the St. James's Park.
Manchester City, for me, look like a team that is sensing the title race could possibly go their way.
Okay.
And you look at the fixtures that they have. To look at the game against Nottingham as a winnable fixture.
Okay.
Especially looking at where they stand at the moment, in terms of their last 5 games. In their last 5 games, they've lost to Nottingham only once, and they've won 4 of those games. And in 3 out of those 4, they have clean sheets. Okay. Earlier this season, they managed to win that game by 2-1. Late 80th minute thereabout winner from Sherky. So they'll fancy their chances against Nottingham, especially at home, and say, well, this is a game we can win. And you look at Manchester City, since drawing 2-2 against Tottenham, they've gone on to win 6 games across board, in all competitions. Again, you look at their latest defeat, it came at the hands of Manchester United, then in the Champions League against Bordeaux. Since then, they've not lost a game in as many as 9 games. It gives you the feeling of a team that has momentum on their side. For Pereira, he would have to figure out how to get the job done against this team. Now, Nottingham themselves, since Pereira took over, traveled to Sukru Sarakoglu to beat Fenerbahce 3-0. And a lot of us expected them to kick on from there. But they've gone 3 straight games without a win.
I think he's yet to win in the league, right?
Yeah,
since Pereira. Yeah.
Struggled against our good friends, Liverpool. Remember that late goal? He had to take a late.
Yes, Alexis McAllister.
For Liverpool to get that win. And looking at that performance, a lot of us expected that, well, maybe this is just what they needed. This is just what they needed to get to the next level. But against Brighton in their next Premier League game, of course, it was an away game at the Amex. But you always would expect a team that is saddled with relegation to actually come out and play, at least fight for a point. But they found a way to lose that game in the first half. So in that game against Brighton, they lost. They lost the first half, and that was the game right there. They have some decent players in their fold. Nathan, look, there's Igor Jesus, who we all know came into this team on the back of quite a good run for Botafogo. Okay, he showed glimpses of brilliance, but Nathan, he's been able to score only 2 goals and manage to assist all season. It's not helped the team. My good friend Callum Hudson-Odoi, who we have consistently called on Otuado to look at, and the FA to look at in terms of one of our wing options for the World Cup, sorry to say, has disappointed spectacularly. Maybe the managerial changes consistently affected him in a way. Maybe. But he's had just 4 goal contributions in the Premier League.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
That's
Clearly, that form must improve if Nottingham have to stay up. Gibbs White, who clearly I would say has been their brightest spot this season. He's been the man around which everything has revolved. He has managed 9 goal contributions, managed 7 goals, 2 assists. So he's that player you can look at and say, well, in a very difficult season for them, he's been able to hold his own and get Nottingham closer to, trying to fight to survive. And then Omari Hutchinson, provided a couple of assists, but he's not really been there. Anderson, who's been talked about as Elliot Anderson, one of England's brightest spots. In the position that he plays, he can only do so much in that role to make sure he's able to keep opponents at arm's length.
Yeah.
But beyond that, what else does he offer this team? A couple of assists, yes. A couple of 1 goal, I think, this season, yes. But again, you need the entire machine to function properly for Nottingham to get the job done. And Sangari left. I think Sangari left for AFCON. Yes.
Yeah.
He left for AFCON, came back, got his place back. But still, it's just not happening for Nottingham. And you put it down to players who are expected to deliver, not delivering. Igor Jesus, Hutchinson, Ayew Odoye. Once these guys are not firing, it becomes difficult. Look, if you look at the division, and if you look at the teams that are facing relegation from, let me say 15th downwards, the team that has scored the least number of goals is Nottingham Forest. They scored only 26. Put Wolves aside. They scored only 26.
Yeah.
Wolves have scored 22. So if you look at the teams that have scored the least number of goals in the Premier League, it's Wolves and Nottingham. And it clearly tells you how that front line is not firing. And I don't know how against City they finally find their goal scoring boots. I don't know how they are going to get the job done against City tonight. But if you ask me, I think that's another win in the bag for Manchester City. I don't see how Nottingham win this one. Now, if they don't win tonight, and West Ham find a way to win,
West Ham will go above Forest.
West Ham immediately go above Forest. And Forest drop to 8,
into the red.
That's the problem they are saddled with tonight. And so, it would be a miracle if they win. Because, looking at the stats, looking at the form guide, looking at everything that has happened to them this season, it doesn't look like they're in the running, or it doesn't look like they have what it takes to go to the Etihad and beat City. So that's a win for City tonight. Then, you look at that game between Man United and Newcastle. That definitely will be a very big one. Man United under Michael Carrick look like a reborn team. Man United seem to be doing the simple things, getting the job done. But against Crystal Palace, Nathan, if you watch that Crystal Palace game very well, in the first 25 minutes of the game, United were exposed too many times. Again, it brought back the old discussion of United not having a rock-solid midfield.
Yeah.
A midfield that was too open. A midfield that had a lot of pressure on, that had put a lot of pressure on Casemiro. And once an inexperienced player like Lenny Yoro was in that defense, you'd always expect a couple of mistakes. Once Luke Shaw didn't start right, he was definitely not going to have a good game. Up until he got injured, we all saw the kind of game he was having. And so, this United team looked good under Carrick, yes, offensively. They are doing their business. They are doing everything possible to score goals. But would they be able to hold their own against a Newcastle team that would ask questions? Murphy would ask questions. Gordon will ask questions. Jolinton would pose a threat.
Yeah.
Barnes would pose a threat. You know, all of these players have their own wings.
For Newcastle, the only challenge they will have this evening is that Bruno Guimaraes.
Yes, will not be. But
I mean,
yeah, but otherwise, I mean, Tonali and Ramsey can do a job for them in the middle. You know, so you look at this Newcastle team, and I think that if Michael Carrick's reign under United would be shaken in any game, or his team would have to fight so hard in a game, it's this Newcastle game.
Okay.
I think that Newcastle would pose a huge threat, would pose a big threat, and I will not be surprised if Newcastle inflicts a damaging defeat to United in this game tonight. Because, look, they look a bit more compact defensively, and they look a bit more organized when they have to put the brakes on teams like United and the likes. Against big teams, they found a way to... They seem to find a way to play. I was surprised when they beat Aston Villa by 3-1. It wasn't a result I saw coming. Again, we watched them play against Liverpool, we watched them play against Manchester City. Those were away games they played. Clearly, they were out of it. But when they've played at home at times, in games that you would expect them to win, they've won. We saw them win against Palace. We saw them win against Leeds. Those were games we expected them to win. Then we saw them play against Chelsea. They drew that game too. So they've had a mixed bag of results all season. But they've always found a way to trouble United at St. James's Park.
Yep. They seem, as you're saying, they always seem to find a way to give Man United problems. Yeah.
And that's why I dare say, looking at the holes that were left in that game against Crystal Palace, and how Crystal Palace took advantage of a set-piece opportunity. And you look at the set-piece numbers. Newcastle also have a very good record when it comes to scoring from set-pieces. They have 14. So after Arsenal, it's them 14. And then Man United 13. So Newcastle also have a bit about them when it comes to scoring from set-pieces. So, you know, the big man, Botman is always in there, you know. And Trippier and the likes would always keep the crosses coming. So Nick Pope, on his day, can be your Ballon d'Or winning goalkeeper, you know. So I see United going into this game, of course, with their own threats up front. But if the midfield is not able to hold their own against this very quick front four, and the back four, if they are not able to hold their own against this very quick and intelligent front four of Murphy, Jolinton, Barnes, Gordon, United will be having lots of problems in tonight's game. And that's why it's a game that will be very hard to call. But if you ask me, I dare say that if Newcastle don't get a win, the game ends in a draw.
It will be tough. It will be really, really tough for Man United as they go to Newcastle. It will be tasking on the physical side, but also on the emotional side. And you know how Newcastle can turn up the atmosphere. Their fans are behind the team, and they seem very pumped, very, very pumped for whenever Man United come around. So, yeah, United will have to be very, very, very careful going there. It will be a very, very tough ask, as they're saying. And should United lose this game, will anybody be surprised? Not necessarily. But again, it's an assignment for Michael Carrick. He's passed different tests this season, and tonight Newcastle will pose their own test.
And Newcastle have to recover. They have to bounce back. They have to find a way to bounce back after a disappointing defeat at the hands of Everton over the weekend.
Yes, they lost. They
have to find a way to bounce back. That in itself is extra motivation for them.
Well, what I will say on the Man United side is that United will have to handle the game well. I don't know if they want to try playing on the break. Maybe that might be the way to go, playing on the break. Because if you look at Brentford defeating Everton a few weekends ago, thanks to Dango Ouattara's brilliant performance that day, United will have to look at that and say maybe that is how they can find a way past Newcastle. Play on the break.
Yeah.
Play on the break. We saw Everton going to St. James's to go and get themselves a win. So United winning the game is possible. It just will be very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. If Newcastle get onto their if they get their steamrollers going, United will have to brace themselves for a very complicated evening, because Newcastle, as I've said, they know how to turn up the temperature.
Yeah.
You know, the fans are pumped and all of that. They'll chase every single ball. They will press. They will smash into you and all of that. And they do have threats, very, very genuine threats. Anthony Gordon, you mentioned Jacob Ramsey, all these other guys. Voltemada, if he's fit, because the news is that, you know, he may or may not play. We are not too sure, but you know.
But if he plays, you know, another threat. Yeah, offers, you know, another threat. Now, Nathan, my next game will be Brighton Arsenal.
Yes. No, that has the trappings of a very interesting
Nathan,
game.
I think it will be an easy game for Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
You know, Brighton this season have been very, very, very poor against some of the top sides. They were swept aside by Liverpool, beaten by Aston Villa. They lost to Arsenal in the first leg. Liverpool did a double over them. Aston Villa did a double over them. You know, it's just been that season where they've had a mixed bag. In the last 2 games they've won. Yes, against Brentford they won. Away from home against Nottingham they won. But there are still a lot of issues with that team. And if you ask me, I think that Arsenal would have way too much for them to deal.
Okay.
Way too much for them to deal with in tonight's game.
Arsenal
would have way too much.
I completely agree with you on that. Brighton will not be able to survive Arsenal. And look, I said Arsenal have learned to win some of these games over time.
Yeah.
Right? The football may not be pretty. Maybe they'll play some pretty football, because Brighton themselves are very open. They are not the most rigid side. So, you know, I think that Arsenal should wrap it in the bag. I think Arsenal should be able to get 3 points on the day. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Time check is 9:27. You can send us a message, 054-257-1061. I was asking the Barcelona fans to get in touch. They need to send us a message. I just want to hear their genuine thoughts on the Copa del Rey game from last night. Were they encouraged by what they've seen? When they encouraged by what they've seen, did they give them any hope? You can send us a WhatsApp, 054-257-106. Let me read a few messages. Page 4 from Oyare Famo says, this dawn, Boston Celtics will play an informed Charlotte Hornets. We will win, but it won't be easy. Yesterday, our biggest antagonist, Liverpool, lost. I'm hoping our rivals Chelsea too will drop points. Man United will find it difficult. But I hope they come out victorious. Okay, you guys are doing a good job. Thank you so much. 054-257-1061. Let me go through. Henry from Amasaman says, I think the main aim was to qualify, but it didn't work out. Proud of the boys. Still Barca forever. All right. I'd like to hear more from the Barcelona fans. That what are they taking away from the Copa del Rey result yesterday? They lost the first leg 4-0. They lost the first leg 4-0. They scored 3 in the second. They fell short. All right. David from Awoshi says, okay, but if Mubarak Wakaso joined the club, would they take him into consideration as well? Says, no, in my opinion. Therefore, why are we compelling someone to join this team when the group can function without him? Who will replace Dede in his current squad as an attacker? Then he goes on to list a long list of names. Sorry. Iñaki, Semenyo, Jordan, Kudus, Babunsu, Joseph Penso, Fatal, Prince Ousu, Thomas Asante, Brandon Thomas Asante, and Kamal Dean Suleiman. Okay, David from Awoshi said that. David, thank you for that. This one says, Nathan from Kaswa says, the amount of money we are looking at spending towards the World Cup, it will be sad if some people are looking at making it a retirement package for one player. Already we have Otuado, who's not good enough. They shouldn't add Andre Ayew. We beg them. Okay. All right, no problem. Let's proceed. So Nathan from Kaswa disagrees with all talk of Andre Ayew getting into the World Cup team. Imota, please let me see more messages. 054-257-10. This one. Oh, the message is hiding down there. Kweku from Bournemouth says, I've given the Ayew situation some thoughts, and I believe we should include him. National team selection should be based on performance. He may not be playing at the highest level. I believe bringing him along would allow for a proper send-off. That said, his role should be clearly communicated to him in advance to avoid any unnecessary issues in camp. Okay, Kweku from Bournemouth says, he says we should take Andre Ayew for the send-off purpose.
Yes.
And then we should clearly tell Andre what we are taking him for.
Oh yeah.
We are going to give you a few minutes for you to write your name in the history book. That's why you are here. Don't cause problems.
Oh no, of course he won't.
Let me proceed.
You rather help the team.
Anyway, let me go through some more messages. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Okay, we've got a voice now. Okay, we'll see if we can play that. This one is from Kwesi G from East Legon. It says it's like the Liverpool fans are quiet this morning. It says also, just like Sika, Black Stars and PDD, it's not personal, it's just business. I see. Kwesi G from East Legon. 9:31. This is still the Sporty breakfast. Imota, why is my phone line blinking?
Nathan, did you get it?
Did I?
What is it?
It's also,
Black Stars in PDD.
We should take calls. But we haven't even announced, and yet people are even calling the line. Hey! Sporty FM listeners. 054-257-1061. Which one?
Chelsea Villa.
Chelsea Villa. Yes. That's an interesting one.
Rosinho.
Man United and Liverpool will be looking at that game with a lot of interest.
Yes.
Right? They'll be looking at that game with a lot of interest. Liam Rosinho would want to bounce back from losing to Arsenal. But they are traveling on the road again. They are at Villa. Villa were on this amazing run, and then things started to get really bad for them.
Lost to Wolves, drew against Leeds.
Yeah.
In back-to-back games, and suddenly top four, which looked like it was wrapped up weeks ago, will now become a battle for them. For Rosinho, he would have to figure it all out. He has to start all over again. He had quite a good start, won a few games that many believed Chelsea should have won by their standards. They had to dig deep against Leeds United. Took a 2-goal lead, found a way to lose 2 points in that to lose 2 points in that game. They drew 2-2 in the end. A draw that would feel like a defeat for Chelsea fans. They found a way to do the job against Wolves. They beat West Ham as well. Again, a game that they fought back to win. So we've seen different sides of this Chelsea team under Rosinho. Okay, against Burnley, how they managed to lose that game still surprises many, because it was a game Chelsea had full control of, but still managed to lose it. When Chelsea play a game and finish a game with an XG of 2.0, you can understand how much pressure they put on the opposing side. And for them to have drawn that game against Burnley, again, that draw.
That was a very disappointing. It was a very disappointing result.
So
very, very disappointing.
Rosinho would have to take a step back and start it all over again. Now he plays this game without Neto. And obviously the man who should possibly come in to do a job will be Garnacho.
It looks like Garnacho
on that left. For Villa, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for them. Drew against Leeds, lost to Wolves away. It's a home game for them, and clubs like Aston Villa like to play big games. They do well in big games sometimes. So you'd always expect them to come into this game with their A game.
Okay.
At a point in time this season, Rodgers and Watkins had struck a very good rate.
Oh yes.
Goals, assists, from each other. It seemed to be.
But they seem to have lost their way.
They seem to have lost their way a bit. If that partnership sparks off tonight, they would ask Chelsea lots of questions. And fortunately for Chelsea, I think Fofana comes back into the team.
Okay.
It was a very difficult game for our Senegalese boy, Sarr in that last game. It was a baptism of fire for him. But I think that Fofana gives them a bit more stability at the back. Caicedo and Andre Santos will do their business as usual. And then we'll see how well the attack line pushes to at least get a goal or two in this one. This game has the writings of a draw on it.
We'll see.
It looks very much like they'll share the sport.
Yeah. Let me. Immortal says we should take like 5 calls. Let's take some calls. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello. Okay. I don't know why I can't seem to hear this gentleman or lady. It could be a lady, and you never know. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. There are some Premier League games. I want you to call and give me a prediction. Maybe you want to talk about Barcelona not making it to the final of the Copa del Rey. It's an open field. Let me know. Aston Villa, Chelsea, Brighton versus Arsenal, Fulham versus West Ham, Man City versus Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle United taking on Manchester United. Ray, it's a homecoming for Michael Carrick.
Yes.
He's going back to his home. A lot of people don't know Michael Carrick was born. He's a Newcastle born. Yes. Yeah. So he's going back home. So let's see what homecoming looks like for him.
I was very confident when United are going to play. But today,
because Newcastle, Charlie, they can really make it intense. Yeah. Make it intense. Justice from East Legon says good win against Atletico. Sporty. A good boost. Okay, all right, interesting. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This one is from Raymond, your namesake from Spintex says, where we are now, we don't need Dede Ayew in the Black Stars. Interesting. 054.
Where are you?
257-1061. 054-257-1061. You can give us a call. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. I want you to give me a prediction ahead of tonight's games. Chelsea fans, how are you going to bounce back after the loss to Arsenal? You go to Aston Villa. Arsenal fans, what's the plan against Brighton? Man City fans, how are you taking on Nottingham Forest? And Man United fans, how afraid are you of Newcastle? Are you afraid of Newcastle at St. James's Park? 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Time check is 9:38. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. You can call our other number as well. 030-279-4805. 030-279-4805. 030-279-4805. Ray, stop this. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Send me a WhatsApp message. There are some games tonight. Sporty. Send me a prediction. Let me know how you think these games will play out. And let me know how you think these games will play out. And the Barcelona fans, I'd love to hear from you. It ended Barcelona 3, Atletico Madrid 0, but it wasn't enough to stop them from exiting the Copa del Rey. They lost 4-3 on aggregate. Personally, I think that was a very spirited performance. Ray, what are you pointing at on the screen again?
Hong Kong. Look at the goals we scored against Hong Kong.
Let's proceed. Why do you want to create problems this morning? Give the Black Queens plaudits. They've gone to play Hong Kong. They've won.
I'm excited. No, you see, no.
And they beat Russia.
No, you see, when you look at the nature of the goals Hong Kong.
Ray, Hong Kong are ranked way below Ghana. Of course, we'll score such goals. That's what you have to do. When you get them,
now you can beat everybody in the world. Then I have a problem.
No, but you see, Ray, the reason why I disagree with you, coaches talk up their teams. These things, you say them to give your players confidence.
Okay, I didn't know.
You didn't know.
Sporty FM, the voice of
I think that the Queens are, I think that they've been on this. I'm happy with the games they are playing. It's good for them. They played England recently. It was a spirited performance. They lost. Was that expected? I think largely. But I think it was a good test.
Yeah.
I think the Black Queens recognize where they are in their evolution. And I'm happy that they are doing all of these things. Playing England, that was a big deal. Even though I had a problem with the coverage of the friendly. Maybe it was where I was. Charlie, the signal was breaking too much. I couldn't enjoy the game. Yeah, but bottom line, Ghana playing England is good. Playing in the Pink Ladies Cup is good. What I don't quite understand is from CAF.
The silence on.
Yes.
You know,
because we know the tournament is happening, but it's like they are treating it. Yeah, there's a blackout.
On as to whether to happen.
Yeah, it's not fair at all. It's not fair at all.
This AFCON has had a lot of. We don't know whether it would happen. We know it would happen.
But CAF said it would happen. So why are they not making the noise? Let them take this call.
South Africa story. South Africa being.
I feel it's so unfair from CAF. Let me take this caller. Hello. Oh, is this caller? Hello.
Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
At long last, I'm able to penetrate the issue.
Yes, please go ahead, Emmanuel.
Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be serious in this country.
But are we not serious?
You have to be serious in this country. You have to be very, very serious.
Sporty FM.
Hey, we shout out to Coach Namely. You see, it's not about going on the field and the clapping hands. So we are not going to do Jama on the field. We are going to play football. And we need active players. Master, you can't sit at home for over a year and get a club for 6 months. We say we are taking to World Cup. And the World Black Stars in I don't understand this thing. We should give him honorary this thing. Right.
No. Hold on, Emmanuel. Hold on. Nobody has said that is going to happen.
No, me. That's true. I'm not saying anybody. Me, I'm talking about myself.
Yes.
I'm not saying anybody. Me, I don't move to anybody.
No, I get it. The way I'm just saying that because it sounded as though somebody said, let's give the day an honorary place.
So you don't say me, I don't attack anybody.
No problem.
Yeah,
let's
go.
go.
Talk my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you have to be serious as a nation.
Sporty FM.
I don't get it too. Players come and go. Why is it only Ayew? You can't get over Ayew.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we get over it? I tell you, what is this? For me, I know that Otuado would not call the Ayew. Okay. Even when he was playing at layout, that was active. He didn't call him.
Oh, but when Andre was playing at layout, was it not the time? That's when Otto came fresh. That's when Otto had come fresh. But I think Andre got minutes.
He went there to have a chat with him and told him that he don't want to call him. And Gray said no. He wanted to come by him.
Okay. That well, yeah.
So if Otuado wants Ghanaians, we some of us we Ghanaians to be cool with him. He should stay away from the Ayew. He should stick with his what he's doing. He shouldn't feel any pressure from anybody. Don't call the Ayew. I don't know what he's coming to do. Let's give him this matter. The Ayew, how do you call it? Asamoah Mutari and Co. How did they get out of this disaster? Is the Ayew really a Saudi player? Or a Messi or Ronaldo? This is sometimes I don't understand. I don't understand. See, if you are going with 15-man squad step card, the guy usually even make a card.
Okay.
15-man squad. The guy usually come here. See.
Okay.
So now if you come now, for World Cup now come take problem.
Okay, no problem. So you disagree with?
That's the problem.
Okay, all right, Emmanuel, thank you. Let me bring other callers.
Because now your brother is the captain. So when he comes, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? Because when he comes, we are going to do this.
Okay. No problem.
Another problem.
Okay, no problem. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's move on.
Okay, no problem. All right, Emmanuel. Thank you. Great.
If the day comes to meet his brother in the team, captaincy issue will not be an issue.
Okay, no problem. Let me take calls. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. You can equally send us a WhatsApp message. I'd love to hear from you via the WhatsApp line as well. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing over there, sir?
Yes, we are fine.
Yes, I'm calling from Achimata in Accra.
Okay.
Yes, I want to react to Chief Nimlim's comment about the Ayew.
Yes.
You know, yeah, I respect him so much because I do listen to him. He is a wonderful man. He has a wonderful contribution. But this one, I totally disagree with him.
Okay.
You see, the Abedi family, especially the father, Abedi Ayew Pele, to me is the greatest player Africa has ever produced. And when we talk of commitment, his loyalty, you know, his patriotism, and his love for his country, that is patriotism. No player can match his record. And that loyalty has been transferred to his son, the Ayew. You see, we should not be an ungrateful people. I mean, I would prefer the Ayew on his sick bed to be on the pitch than even Semenyo. Because I've seen Semenyo. Semenyo is a great player by all standards. But I've seen his commitment when it comes to playing for Ghana Black Stars. He plays as if he values his leg. I mean, he's not ready to. I mean, he's all for what is Ghana. But on his club level, we see his contributions. You know, so my own opinion, Coach Nimli has his own opinion, and I respect his opinion. But don't impose your opinion on Ghanaians as if you have the finance.
But nobody has imposed. Relax. Nobody has imposed any opinion elsewhere. He made his point. Yes. The same way you are making yours.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
So in the same way, I can also say that why are you imposing your? But nobody has imposed any opinion.
I'm not imposing my opinion.
And nobody has done it. Brilliant. Nobody has done that either. No problem. So please make your point.
I hope you're not angry.
I'm not upset. I'm just correcting. You see, because we like to do some of these things. I'm cool.
Cool down. Let's change ideas.
Make your point. You make your point. Make your point.
My point. What I'm saying is that coach has every right to speak his opinion, but don't make it say as if you say the Ayew in the team, hell is going to let you. No, nobody.
You see, hold on. I beg you. Yes, we've said everything. The final decision lies with Otto Addo. You are making your point. Nobody is fighting with you. Nobody is arguing with you. Chris has made this point, but for you to now stretch the thing to say that he's speaking as though his opinion is law, and that's unfair. He hasn't said take his opinion as law.
Okay, all right. Okay, I apologize for that.
Hey,
have you accepted my apology?
Please make your point. You make your point. The other callers make your point, and let's take other callers.
What I'm saying is that I will be happy to see the day included on the pitch, included in the squad. I will be happy. If you are not happy, disagree, fine, make it as your opinion. And so if others disagree with me, fine. I also respect your opinion, including all of you at the studio. Thank you so much for all that you are doing to help Meta Ghana Sports.
Right.
I really love Sporty FM.
Yo, thank you so much. Thank you. 054 257 106 054 257 1061. Oh man, the perils of this job, Mr. Nyamado. Anyway, this one says Nana Akwabua from Insawam says, we the Barca fans are proud of our team. We know we'll meet Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinals and we'll get revenge on them. Okay? All right. 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. We'll be wrapping up in a minute or two. Let's take a couple more calls. Let's take about two more calls. Let's take like two more calls and then we will wrap it up. Kobe Baden from Dansoman says, okay, he says that elsewhere, Dede Ayew would have retired from the national team after the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, all right. Oh man. Anyway, 054 257 1061. Okay, as we wait to take our final calls, let me do our two announcements and then we'll call it a morning. Now, the Polytank Sumo Super is on the market. If you haven't bought one, please go and buy one because you need it for your home, your business, your project. It's been designed properly. It's been built properly. Premium multiple layers and is reinforced for superior durability. There are no leaks, no cracks. You will enjoy having your Polytank Sumo Super. And don't miss this limited time offer. you get to save over 1,000 cedis. And all of it is part of celebrating the month of March. Okay, so find an outlet where the Polytank Sumo Super is being sold and then go and buy one. You will love it. Polytank, the original, always the best. Polytank, Papa Nankasa. Beware of fraudsters. Polytank does not ask for Momo payments online. Now, football's biggest moment is upon us. The World Cup is 99 days away. If you are unsure, and if you don't know what to do and you want to go, speak to 90-year travel advisors and Venture G Travel. They will cover everything from visa assistance, international flights, hotel stays, match tickets, proper coordination, and they manage every detail, so you can trust them. Call them on 059-124-8275 or 059-673-8545 or send them a WhatsApp message on 055-221-2650. Or you can send them, a WhatsApp to their other number. It's a US number, I think. Plus 1-571-229-6900 and secure your place at the World Cup. If you want to go to their office, they are on the Ablade Road in Kanda, opposite the Montclair University. 90-year travel advisors and Venture G Travel, your complete World Cup travel partner.
Nathan, we walk well. We walk well. 90 years.
90 years.
You know, I asked you earlier, 6th of March. What would you be doing?
6th of March, will we not come to work?
Me, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. But let me bring you this.
Yeah.
On the 6th of March. On the 6th of March.
Yeah.
At 6 a.m. My gym, my fitness gym, 369 Gym and Wellness Center. They'll be having a walk, okay? And they are saying that come fit, come fresh, and come celebrate. So get fit this Independence Day. We are going to have a walk, a 7.8 kilometer walk from the 369 Gym and Wellness Center inside the Lizzie Sports Complex. We'll start from there, and then we'll go through Ghana Link, and then we'll get into the Lagos Avenue stretch, go by the Melcom on the Boundary Road, through the East Legon Police Station, through to Starbites, and then from ENT Mall, we get back to 369 Gym and Wellness Center. That's going to be the route for the walk, and I'm entreating all of us to register or sign up to be part of this walk. It's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be full of fun. We're going to have aerobics and some good music. We're going to have hydration stations as well. So I promise to be exciting. This is on the recreational side of things. These days it's sport and recreation. So 369 Gym and Wellness Center are bringing us this. So just make sure you're part of them. Just go onto their social media handles, 369 Gym and Wellness Center on Instagram, and then apply to be part or register to be part of this walk. It'll be a very interesting walk. It starts at 6 a.m. and you don't want to miss that. 369 is one of the best gyms in Ghana. In fact, the best gym in Ghana, the best fitness gym in Ghana.
Okay.
The look and feel as always. It's out of this world. When you get in there, you know that you have entered the gym. The equipment, state of the art. You see, these are equipment you've not seen before.
Do they have world-class trainers?
Yeah, world-class trainers as well.
Hello.
Let me take that final caller for the morning. Hello.
Neighbor,
Yes.
neighbor,
Yes.
I can't come and talk without talking about United.
Emmanuel, what is it again?
See, the teams below us are fooling. We have to take full advantage of Newcastle. See, this match is do or die. This is a do or die match. This, I'm hearing some rumors that they want to give Carrick a 3-year contract.
Okay, that's what you are hearing.
Calm down. It should calm down.
Okay.
You see, we have a long way to go. We shouldn't make these mistakes again.
Sporty FM.
I know. Don't. You see, something that is going on. Don't destroy what is going on. Like Carrick is doing something great, but we've seen this thing before. And I think the United Iraqis need to sit down and have a talk with Carrick. Like they should sit down and talk and have a very, very great talk with Carrick. You didn't just give him the job. You see, me, I don't know why. I don't know if Luis Enrique will be free this season.
Luis Enrique is staying
I like his
at Paris
coaching.
Saint-Germain, so
Yeah, I like his coaching. And United need to be need to be brave. Need to go for the kill. This is United we are talking about. The biggest club in England. And we don't need to go for less.
okay.
See, so this match, we have to win this match.
Okay.
So that if we win this match, we finish in the top 4. Only this match. So
Okay.
this match, it will be a challenge because Newcastle when they are playing at home, they are like some big.
The voice of sport.
Okay.
I don't know if they are playing home, man. Like I don't understand. It's like the referees they don't even see the attackers when they are playing at home, man. I don't know if the referees they give them something so that they should avoid some tackles when because I've been watching Newcastle at home and some tackles that I've been doing at home is very very challenging. It's serious.
Okay.
So
All
they
right.
are beg United.
Okay.
Beg. See, they should see. They are Benjamin Sesko guy. I have my reservation on him already.
Okay.
So if you want to prove me wrong, see, you should keep it up and keep banging the goals.
Okay. No problem.
But Makakari, they should wait more. They should put the blocks more.
Okay.
Yeah, Yempeno.
Okay, Emmanuel, you've made the point. Thank you so much. All right, that's how I wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. Eugene from Sunyai, the final comment says that, okay, Andre got a red card against Comoros in the AFCON. The team said they lost confidence. He missed a penalty, and then he got subbed off. The day is done well for the Black Stars, but that's enough. He should protect his legacy. Says he should give other players the opportunity he got many years ago. All right, that's how we wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan. I did this with Raymond Yamado. Many, many thanks to all the people who sent us messages and those who called. Many shouts to my production team, Immortal Kwame Jakwe Champon, who was here. Shout outs to the other production team members, Fly, Fidelis, and Anna Kwame. My production team is getting a lot of love. Page 4, who is in Oyarifa, says that the production team, they are doing really well. Thank you so much, Page 4. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. There's the Sporty News at 12. Sporty Drive at Sporty Plug at 12:30. Immortal will be here with the boys to cook something nice for you ahead of tonight. There's Sporty Drive at 4, and then there's European Nights. The gang will be here to guide you through. There are all kinds of interesting games tonight. Villa, Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, Fulham, West Ham, Man City, Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle United taking on Man United. All of these will feature front and center during European Nights tonight. So keep your eyes locked on Sporty FM. We are the voice of sport. Don't forget, it's 99 days to the start of the FIFA World Cup. Enjoy your day. We'll catch you later.